But another thing I was thinking about before we go, I'm kind of jumping around today, but I'm thinking of these things as we're talking. And I was thinking about this last week, and I've thought about this for quite a few weeks when we're talking about earth changes, is I wonder if we should, I wonder if it's as scary as we think it is, because these earth changes have had to been going on for forever.
Right.
And you know, forever and ever, there was no media to begin with, so we didn't hear about the earth changes. Is this just kind of a natural cycle?
Correct.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's
how bad it's going to be.
Right.
Well, according to your ancient spiritual text, it's going to be biblical.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you look at all of your major religions. You know, Mayan, Hopi. The I Ching, Egypt. I mean, you go down the list, and my list is over there. I could read them off better than I can remember them.
But if we're warned, can we change it?
We always have a chance to change the future. You know, that's what, you know, predictions of premonitions are dependent upon the information at the time of the interpretation, which means we have a chance to change the future. And, you know, one big thing, I mean, they're talking about the whole world in flames, and it's like, well, if we don't take action regarding our nuclear reactors, then the chances of having a nuclear accident are greater than.
Right.
So it's like, you know, being aware of.
And hopefully there's a lot of things that we don't know, a lot of protective things that have been put in place. You know, we don't know that they can't tell us, you know, because...
Well, yeah, they have their own underground facilities where they're going to go when this occurs. That's what they had with Congress. They had a special meeting in Congress about...
You mean like bomb shelters, sort of?
Yeah. Telling Congress where to go when the people start their uprising. Because there's, you know, people are getting fed up. You know, and the homeless situation, it's going to continue. You know, it's going to continue to escalate. And, you know, where do the homeless go? There was another article in the paper that someone had brought in about, I think it was a tent city in California, if that's where I'm correct, and they were talking about shutting it down. And they had their own government. Now, it was there, I think, like 4 years. And there was like 100 people, something like that. But they had their own mayor. They had their own rules. And, you know, if you didn't...
Like an association, like a condominium complex association.
And if you weren't behaving yourself, you would get evicted. And they said that they hadn't had to evict anybody yet. But, you know, where can you put something like that up?
What would be the purpose of closing it, though? What could possibly be the purpose?
To move the homeless. I mean, people are not very compassionate. I think that's a word. Is that what you would say? You want to say a few words, Marie?
Oh, I want to say a whole lot when you give me the mic.
Okay, switch camera 3. Marie's going to talk.
Oh my goodness, not just like that. Okay, just like that. Toothless and all. I will remember my teeth next time, folks. All right, the homeless, again, I would like to talk about homeless helping homeless. And I think this is a new phase because there are so many homeless people that have a trade, education, something to give, and don't always, you know, get that opportunity to do that because they've been put in a box of homelessness. I can go into a little bit about my homelessness. I'm 55, and I've never been homeless up until about a year ago. I'd say a year ago. And I've owned 5 or 6 homes. I had 13 beauty shops in Columbus, Ohio. Came here to retire, opened up 2 delis, got hit with the hurricane after, I'll call it afterbirth. We got hit with the hurricanes and the rains, and which closed my delis down and then we had the bad rains. I think we ran into 2 of the backlashes from the hurricane. So I was out of business immediately. At that time, My fiance and I had 5 homes. I lived in Conisty Falls, which is in Brevard, and life was good. But within about 90 days, I was out with a foreclosure, just all kinds of things. No compassion, my things being stolen left and right with the Transylvania County Police Department. I recently just lost $100,000 worth of stuff my mother had sent down due to the Brevard Police Department. I mean, so it's just been domino, domino. Every time I try to get up, I would be knocked down in some kind of way. So I said, you know what, I'm staying down for one reason. I think God had let me go through all these things so that I could really see and feel and be homeless, so that this group, Homeless Helping Homeless, would be started, because I give. I've given in this club for about a year now, and it was Together We Can, and we changed the name just recently because we have a new focus. It isn't like we can't give back to our communities. Hire a homeless person. You know, it's not a hand out, it's a hand up. I cut hair. I've cut hair for 38 years. Everybody at the shelter gets a haircut. And, I mean, at the shelter, at our community kitchen if they want one, anybody. I'm, you know, relatively inexpensive, but I have, you know, really a good talent. I have 127 credit hours in nursing. I'm not a stupid person. I ran my 13 beauty shops. I had 87 employees.
Wow.
You know, yeah. And, you know, and raised 3 children. And all 2 of them went to college, and 1 is on her way, some way, shape, or form. But, you know, I have a lot to give yet.
Well, you have to look at the, how do I say that, effect of your community in the homeless, and does your community have does the community help to make a person homeless, or does the community help the homeless? Either, you know, a community is going to come together so that they can help each other.
Right.
Or a community is going to say, no, I do not want to do business with you, thereby causing you to lose your income, thereby, you know, causing.
Correct.
So it's like, how much is the cause and effect in your community? You know, does your community help? And you know, and talking about does your community help, it's like, you know, do you buy from someone in your community, or do you buy something that's made in China? You know,
right.
do you support your local workers? Or
this brings into effect, this is some of the things that we started, like doing this Together We Can. We were starting just to do things for the homeless. And I said, well, we're all homeless. Why don't we do things for each other? And so the sewing that we did, I brought some things in. We learned soap making.
Wow.
And tomorrow begins the Transylvania County Tailgate Market.
Oh.
So that'll be open.
And these are little
on
babushkas.
Tuesday
I'm going to
from
call them little
3 to 7.
babushkas.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, well,
Yeah.
you know, the
what you
little
mean.
babushkas, you know, when you're out gardening or whatever,
Yeah.
keeping the sun. Or if you're really crazy. No, just kidding, just kidding. No robbing banks, but could work. No, just kidding.
Well, hey man, we love you.
Love you. Peace out.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you again.
Oh well. Oh God, that was stupid.